Hello and welcome to Techplace. My name is Isabella Gottslik and I am the Manager of Innovation and Entrepreneurship. And today I am here with Frank from Owlware and I have a few questions for Frank. All right. My first question is, please introduce yourself. What's your name and title?
So Isabel, my name is Frank Sroka, and I'm the Manager and Director of Programs and Services at Owlware.
All right, thank you. What is Owlware? Can you describe the company and the value proposition?
Yeah, actually, yes. Owlware is actually an acronym for Online Web Learning. And yes, it's kind of a little bit of an odd name, and people also want to know about it. Why Owlware? So it's basically, we started the company with online web learning about 15 years ago. So we were way ahead of everyone else. We're creating e-learning solutions for people with disabilities. So that's sort of our values started to stem with assisting people with disabilities with a unique way for them to learn. So we started the company 17 years ago and working with the Ontario government. And we started to create customized e-learning solutions for people with disabilities to provide them with certifications in Microsoft. So often persons were applying for jobs during those days and they didn't really have the certification. They may have gaps in their skill sets. They may have had some knowledge and training in specific areas. But we found that if we were able to train them and provide them with certification and they were to build a portfolio, their employment opportunities were just greatly increased. And so that's how we started Owlware, Online Web Learning. So we started to do tutoring with individuals. We created our own software and it's a whole holistic approach where we provide the training and the job placement for them. So that's Owlware. So it's sort of like wise ideas for tomorrow's training solutions. That was our catchphrase.
And you also answer my next question, which was what the Owlware mean to you, what the name means to you. Yeah. And you did touch upon how the technology, how your solution work. Mm-hmm. Perhaps we can go to my next question is, how about your customer? Who is your
so our customers are persons with disability barriers. And I really don't like the term disability. I like the term ability barriers, okay? Because everybody is, I truly believe everyone is employable and there's a job for everyone. So our main customers are persons with abilities, and we're actually a vendor for the Ontario government. So the Ontario government basically refers individuals to us. We're like a service provider for the government, and then we provide the services in terms of training, employment, and job placement.
Okay. And I imagine now with the whole talent shortage, your solution should be on fire.
Yeah, it's interesting because of our current situation with the pandemic. It was interesting because it's almost like going full circle for us because we actually started with remote training, online training, and we still kept that going. So when that situation arose, we were more than prepared. So we were ready just to start our training virtually. We started to do our job placement, and a lot of our job placement is actually remote. A lot of our employers, started to do, in order to survive and provide services. Of course, they had to hire, and that is continuous. And so we were able to set up people remotely at home and then provide them with employment opportunities. And now as we move forward, we're now looking at the, more of a hybrid model. And I think a lot of employers are looking at that where, they're providing the setup at home remotely, but also having people come into the office too. And certainly we'll be doing that here at Techplace. We love the environment here. And the first day I came here, 2 years ago. 2 years ago, it was a humming place, and it's starting to hum now. And very innovative, very collaborative. So I always wanted to be part of that energy, and I'm really, really excited to start that process happening again.
Well, thank you very much for that. You also answered another question I had for you around the Techplace and then what it means to you. But let's go back to your projects. Are there any exciting projects that you are working on right now that you are wanting to share with us?
There are many exciting projects, and as we talk, I get goosebumps, right? I really do get goosebumps. So when we started 2 years ago, there's a major project that we're encountering that we collaborated with the Disability Channel, who is a vendor here at Techplace, and they're one of our co-partners, and also with Mohawk College. And we're providing training in accessible digital media, because we were finding that a lot of companies out there, although they are familiar with AODA, sort of the legislation, and try to be compliant with the legislation that is required for that, they really didn't know how to go about it, and they didn't know how to make social media accessible. How do you go about making your documents, PDFs accessible? How do you make your website accessible? There is a huge group out there of consumers who want to access your product or service. You may not be tapping into that resource. So we collaborated with Mohawk College and 2 years ago and created a certificate program with them in conjunction with the Disability Channel. So Mohawk College provides the training remotely for now. We will go into a hybrid model. They provide the lecture series. We have our own facilitator who does tutorials and reinforces the information with candidates that are in the program. And the Disability Channel provides a practicum forum. So I really believe learn by doing. So the channel provides a forum for individuals to actually utilize their skills that they've learned in terms of accessible media. So, for example, if they're learning captioning, then in the lecture series, they incorporate those skill sets into actually a practicum with the channel. So if there's productions that the channel is producing, then those individuals can actually do the captioning for those productions, so they can apply those skills. So this has been really a very well-received program, and we also provide employment opportunities with graduates. And we're looking at expanding that program continuously. We actually did get renewed to 2023, so you're still with us. We're still here at Techplace, which is great. And so what will happen now is that we'll slowly be bringing individuals to Techplace. We also operate in Toronto, so the program started initially in Hamilton, because Hamilton had the largest population of persons with disability barriers that were unemployed. I did not know that. Through the research. Yeah, it was just interesting. And so the government said, well, this is great that you're going to provide accessible media training. How about you do it in Hamilton? And that was fine. But I said, why not Burlington? Why not Peel?
Right.
Right? Why not? Right? And so that's how the project started. We did a great job of it. And now I've asked them, could we include Toronto region? So this year we kind of did a blended model where, because it's still remote and it's still virtual training, we can now blend the classrooms with all those regions. So it's really exciting. So we're continuing doing the training. It's a very successful program, and we're looking forward to providing more training in different areas and different groups. And another sector that we would like to really work with the channel is veterans. And veterans are often a group that are neglected. They once they do their service, and there are not a lot of opportunities for them. And often people forget that. So we're feeling that, offering a similar program in accessible digital media, these individuals will be able to get back to work again. So we're looking at that. Lots of exciting things to do.
It's fantastic to hear that. And, when I was doing a little bit of a research on your company, I couldn't help but wonder, what are some common like myths that you come across in your line of duty, in your line of work?
Yeah.
Maybe you can share some observations.
Yeah, I think and to answer your question, I think the common myth is that persons with disabilities are not employable. A lot of employers think they don't have opportunities, they don't have skills. And when I started the company, I wanted to prove that was not so. And I think I've done that. Like, as I mentioned, I totally believe there's a job for everyone. It's just finding the right job, finding the right skill set. And I think a big key is education. So education, in terms of educating employers on disability barriers, understanding accommodations, all those things are very important. And understanding that you have a great resource, a pool resource of individuals that have great abilities, because people with abilities have these barriers but they have a lot of skill sets that they bring into a job. And I think employers are starting to realize that, and just trying to be more of an inclusive workplace. These are a lot of good things that are happening now. I think the awareness, the biases are always going to be there, but it's our job to take those biases away, right? We have to educate, and when we educate in terms of abilities, what people are capable of, training and providing with education and in accessible media, for example, it opens more doors. And when you open more doors, there's more opportunities.
More opportunities, that's for sure. And you had described, some myths, some accomplishments. How about some challenges that you've encountered as a business owner, founder in your everyday life?
Yeah, that's part of being an entrepreneur, right? So being part of an entrepreneur, and I think, you're always going to have challenges no matter what. I mean, every day I wake up, I say, today's going to be a new adventure, because I do not know what is going to happen. But if you're not prepared for those challenges, it's going to be difficult. So challenges are always there, and I think you have to be able to work with change. A lot of organizations are not able to change quick enough, and enabling change is really important in order for you to succeed and to overcome challenges. And with our company, we are a small company. We keep it small that way purposely, but everybody on our team, and I can say for the channel as well, because we work very closely with them, is able to endure change, and they're able to multitask. They're able to do, pivot, that word pivot, right? Pivot through changes. It is important. It's an important thing. When the pandemic hit, there were a lot of social service agencies that were struggling and really had to adapt to those changes, and some found it very difficult. We were able to do bang. We switched like a switch, and I think that's important for survival and anything. So challenges, I like challenges, because challenges just encourage me to start thinking and being innovative and trying to resolve issues. You're never going to resolve everything, but if you have a good team, and everybody is working together towards a goal, you're going to be able to solve anything. So challenges are they're interesting. I like challenges, so I don't really foresee a big problem with that. That's all how you approach it, right?
Exactly. And I think challenge, pivot, agility, change are, one of the common words when we talk about entrepreneurships.
Yeah, and that's a special person, right? To be an entrepreneur, like it's within you. You don't just wake up one day and say, "I'm going to be an entrepreneur." No, it doesn't happen quite that way. It's evolving. Your personality is evolving with what's happening around you, and you have to learn how to understand what that is. So it's a cause and effect type of thing. But an entrepreneur will know how to resolve things quickly, because it all depends on you. right? It all depends on you to make that change, enable that change, to be able to be creative, be able to be innovative, and produce. Because if you don't produce, you're not going to survive. You're not going to eat. You have no money, right?
That is correct. How is there any ask that you have for viewers or listeners or people who will be reading this interview, how we can help you, or how we can make sure that we spread the word about your company? Is there any ask you would like to put out there to the world?
Well, definitely. Part of our innovative program with Mohawk College and Accessible Digital Media, part of it is an internship that we're offering with employers. And we have amazing wage subsidies for employers to utilize through an organization nationally called CCRW. So what we're looking for is opportunities for our graduates to be employed. And that could be, as I said, that could be remotely employed for employment opportunities within those different companies. Or you could do a hybrid model. It all depends. And we're really looking now. We just started our 4th cohort, and now so we'll be looking also for placements for our graduates that just graduated from our previous cohort. So if there are employment opportunities available, would definitely like to speak to you about that. The other innovative way we've been thinking about opportunities is there's opportunities for job sharing. So some companies have said, well, we have an opportunity that's maybe part-time, or we have a full-time opportunity. And what we've done with some companies is split that opportunity. So we say, if there's somebody who's really good at, say, social media and accessible social media, and then there's someone who likes to write blogs, or someone who just wants to they want to change their documents to make them more accessible, we can split that job. So we have 2 people doing that one job. So we have done that. So there's a lot of innovative ways to create employment, and we have that flexibility to do so. So any employers that are out there, any companies involved with Techplace, if they're looking for a placement, please do contact us.
And do you focus on specific industry, or what is the vertical?
Mostly the industries would be technology companies. However, because of the skill sets that people are bringing in, a lot of individuals have a lot of background in marketing, sales, project management, administration, and and they have the added specialized skills in accessible digital media. So they're bringing all those skill sets to an organization. So we do have people who've hired individuals as like project management assistants, or we've just had now one recently for administration for medical records and accessibility, to make those documents accessible, because they now realize we need to make those documents accessible. So there's a lot of organizations that we've been working with that have been utilizing our graduates, and they come back to us and say, we want more. Well, who else do you have? Because they are excellent, reliable, personable, knowledgeable. I think it's not just the technology. I think it's being able to utilize that specific skill set that makes them so unique.
And how we can get in touch with you and contact?
Yeah, you can get in touch with me through my email, frank@owlware, OWLWARE.com. You can call me at the office, 416-391-2441, extension 2015. Those are probably the best ways, an email inquiry. And we can set up a virtual meeting, or we can meet you in person, however you'd like, and talk to you a little bit more about what we're here to offer in terms of technical support or accessible digital media support, and tell you a little bit more about our programs and services and how you can become involved to be an enabler. Let's call you an enabler, because you're enabling change, and that's what it's about.
And it's also all about abilities.
Abilities, terrifically about abilities. Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you very, very much, Frank. Wishing you all the best with the company. Thank you so much for coming and being my guest here and the interview.
It was
Appreciate
my
it.
pleasure.
Thanks.
Thank you.